Hello there, my friends. Chris Marcus here with you for Arcadia Economics. Quick video about an interview I just listened to with Roger Waters, founder of Pink Floyd, which was a big influence growing up. And he was talking about Julian Assange, the way he's being treated, thinking about who really are the good guys and the bad guys sometimes, because I do believe those lines get blurred. Main point he was making was that a lot of these governments are afraid of the man because he's beginning to release a lot of information about crimes that have been committed that have been covered up by governments and other official institutions. Of course, on my channel I talk quite a bit about my experience in Wall Street and a lot of the criminal activity I see there, which, especially in the last 15 years or so, seems to be, I guess if you're connected, able to get away with it. So Roger Waters spoke to a lot of things like that. Certainly made a lot more sense than any government official I've heard speak lately, save maybe Nigel Farage or Ron Paul. So I'm going to post the link to that below, worth checking out. And another, one last comment on that video though, is he also talked about the situation in Venezuela where Maduro is always framed as the bad guy, and out of left field the US government was recognizing a new candidate as the president. Roger Waters pointed out how, shouldn't the Venezuelan people be the one to decide that rather than a US regime? And I know perhaps some of these views might not be so popular, but I'm just gonna speak what I honestly feel here, because again, I don't know the first thing about Maduro, because I realize that anything I've ever heard about him is coming from American censored media. So he may well be as ruthless as any of the other government dictators. I mean, it's hard to imagine, given the history of United States government, some of the things that the deep state's been involved in, many of the things that Julian Assange is exposing now. Hard to imagine Maduro's done much worse than that. Maybe he has, I don't claim to know, yet certainly when you look back through history and the way, as John Perkins detailed quite eloquently in his books Confession of an Economic Hitman and part 2 of the series as well, there's a long track record of US government / deep state, New World Order, whatever you want to call it, going in and deciding who the government is, foreign countries. At least in my opinion, we have a pretty long track record of that backfiring as they try to spread democracy, despite the fact that America was specifically designed not to be a democracy. Something I was stunned to learn a couple years ago and find that most folks have not heard or considered. So either case, it was a fascinating video. There's the link below. Hit the subscribe button and go watch it.